Welcome into the start of a brand new season here for the Stanford Cardinal, year 7 under head coach Barry Bearington, coming off their most successful season, winning the Pac-12 and making it back to the college football playoffs. But of course, with all the success, expectations tend to rise. With a lot of successful recruiting comes a lot of high talent on the roster, and if they don't hit the field, they're going to look to transfer, and that's what a lot of players ended up doing. A lot of them transferring to smaller schools where they will be in line to start where they did not have that opportunity under Coach Barrington. But with that, you will see some new players hit the field. Starting on offense, Larry Sulai, the former 5-star running back at receiver, making his debut will be Virgil Rowland. Another 5-star. On the defensive side, down the middle, you have Jason Blair, another redshirt freshman from Lynchburg, Virginia. Teaming up with him, Alex Augustine, going to play both the outside and interior rush here for the Cardinal. At slot, you're going to have Kevin Salmon. Expect him to fill in the shoes of Alex Marcock, who moves to the outside. And transitioning from the cornerback spot to strong safety this season will be Ty Holly. Additionally, they will also be debuting a new playbook, more fitted around quarterback Gordon Draft. They're going to spread out the offense, still use some of that power from the running game. They get all these different receivers and tight ends well involved. The focus is to highlight a lot of the key players returning from last year, including the best tight end in college football in Emmanuel Gomez. And of course, on the defensive side, you have the Heisman winner in Cassius Sampson. With a pretty easy-looking schedule for the Stanford Cardinal, only 2 top 25 ranked teams as we begin. They invited James Madison to town to test out their new offense and a little bit of their defense as there are new starters. A lot of rotation happening on that side, though it should be expected a blowout game. But the Cardinal will have to earn it against the Dukes, and it will be the new offense to start off as we are underway. Season 7 at Nogbar will return. One of the depth corners here for the Cardinal takes it right side up to the 22. And now this year, Gordon Draft will have an offense fit around him. He took over about week 3 last season. He starts this season with a Cardinal at said 22, and down the middle goes Thompson for no gain. Offensive line do have 2 new starters, both of which are going to be down the middle. 2nd and 10. Bunch goes to the right-hand side. One lone to the left is Moses. Kind of taking over that wide receiver 1 role, though. They go Blouse, who's got a lot of space to catch and run up to a 45. The senior for the Stanford Cardinal taking on a new role this year. Going to play a little wide receiver 2, some slot receiver, as it's a big gain for the Cardinal. They come out sticking with the spread look here. Play action to Thompson, and then throwing out his way with a couple lead blockers, a first down gain of about 16. Now, Coach Barrington has talked about the running backs taking on a bit of a larger role in the passing game. Those still will have a little bit of that power run mixed in. As Draft rolls to the right-hand side, gets some lead blocks, and another gain of about 15. They mark 17. Easy moving so far for the Stanford Cardinal. They've got 5 guys, All-Americans in this starting lineup. Bunch to the left-hand side for Draft, who will throw to Blouse, and down to the 2. Chunk play after chunk play for the Stanford Cardinal. Now their first to-go situation. Sticking with that bunch to the left-hand side. Moses in motion. Gonna fake it to him. Thompson right down the middle. He's stuffed at the goal line. Just inches away. They check to a shotgun look here in motion right side. And it's going to be a quarterback power stop for about half a yard loss. A little bit of a new wrinkle there for the Cardinal offense as some more designed quarterback runs. 3rd and goal here, and then he checks in at fullback. A new spot for him as Thompson brings that power game back. Running through the linebacker, Cardinal do polish off the opening drive of Season 7 with a touchdown, taking that 7-0 lead over James Madison. A little bit of rust down by the goal line, but overall a good start against finally competition not wearing the same jersey. Now for the defense to have their debut. Starting back at the 13, they go with the halfback screen, and it is open to the outside, picking up the first down. McClellan picked up a few good blocks out there. Thad Smith not able to get out there in time. There was talks about him not being one of these sub-backers starting the season, still in that role, as they look to pass the ball to the outside, leaving a wide open receiver, skipping by the ankle tackle and getting up to the 50. Couple miscues for the defense out the gate here, as the Dukes making some big plays on offense. Going with a spread look. Here comes Cassius Sampson, and it's going to get picked off by Tim Easy. Shoemaker just led his receiver a little bit too far. Perhaps that Heisman winner forcing that ball come out a little bit rough. So far, the fans are loving it here in Palo Alto. A hot start, touchdown drive, a pick, and the Cardinal offense can hit the field here at the 34. Trips go to the left-hand side as they will look to pass, but getting dropped for an 8-yard loss. Brian Morris comes through the right tackle in Ahala and forces a 2nd and 18 back at the 26. Cardinal change up the look here to spread either side, as they'll still look to air this ball out. Going downfield, it's George Ball in a 2v1, and it's going to get picked right back. A Hail Mary attempt, essentially. And it gives the ball right back to the James Madison Dukes. That's simply just a forced play there for Gordon Draft. Back to the 41 with 2 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Shoemaker hands the ball off, and Augustine slows him down. It's Schlegel to get the tackle and hurry up early on here for the Dukes. They ran that a little bit the first drive. First drive obviously ended with an interception. 2nd and 8. Quick throw, getting the spin on the safety, and Ty Holly gonna get all the way down to the 28. What a play from Nicholas Ogle in the slot. Gets them down to the 28. They stick with a passing look here to the outside and not caught in bounds. Pretty good ball placement though from Shoemaker. Kept it away from the incoming defender. Dumping off here for McClellan will pick up 5. They'll bring up a 3rd and 5. As they motion out the running back here, will look to pass the ball. Couple options underneath, but dropped. Ogle not able to make the play that time. Forces a field goal attempt that they sneak in that right upright. James Madison gets on the board, 3 points off the turnover. And needing to bounce back, Gordon Draft in the offense can hit the field thereafter. It is 7-3 here in Palo Alto. At the 25, Thompson takes it right down the middle from the pistol set. Another gash on this defense. So far out the gate, offense definitely looks different than last year where they had the lead running back in Montreal Dog, a very heavy style. A lot more spread here as they go to Blouse, who's picked up a couple catches, 3 for 53. That one leaves the Cardinal just inches shy of the first down marker, though looks more like millimeters at most. Sulai, the running back, he takes the handoff and will pick up the first plus more. A gain of 5 for the junior, finally getting some time out on the field. Cardinal have a really good backfield. Expect them to get everyone well involved. As they're looking down the field, wide open is Gomez. It's a touchdown, if not for a holding call that will erase a huge play to, again, the returning number 1 tight end of last season. So instead of a 14-3 lead, it's 7-3, about a minute left in the first quarter with the 1st and 20. They change up the look. Bunch goes to the right-hand side. Wide open again. They find Blouse. Good adjustment on the throw. Gordon Draft over 100 yards passing. Haven't even got to the second quarter yet. A very different look from the last year's plays as they try to get the dump off. Not able to get it out cleanly. Does force a 2nd and 10. Bunch now goes to the left-hand side. Rolling the freshman on the right-hand side. As they let this play develop, going to the left, they get George Ball, who's got the first down. And that takes us to the break. First quarter comes to an end. It is 7-3. Touchdown on the first possession for the Stanford Cardinal. They then picked off the Dukes and then gave it right back with a turnover of their own. Looking to answer that back is where we start the second quarter. Down at the 13, it's a pistol weak eye. As they hand it off to Thompson, takes it down the middle and delivers a punishing hit. He's averaging just under 5 yards a carry, sets up a 2nd and 4. Hard count, no one, jumps for Draft. Who's going to look to roll left-hand side and get stuck up in the blocks. will be a loss of 4, backing them up here. 3rd and now 9 at the 12. First down is about the 3-yard line. Sticking with a heavier look here as they throw back to Emmanuel Gomez. He will get his touchdown. Had a deep ball called back earlier this drive. This time they find him on the post route right down the middle. Cardinal extend that lead, make it 14-3. So far the offense really has started hot. Could be a 3-score game if not for that turnover. Dukes now back in possession as they pick up 7. Of course, their last drive ended in a field goal, getting them on the board with a big play to Ogle to help set that up. Of course, he had the drop on 3rd down. They check outside. Big hit comes in Marcock. Now, one thing we've noticed so far, not much pass rush for the Cardinal. They bring the blitz here, and it leaves a receiver wide open. And Matthews will find the first touchdown for the Dukes this season. Tim Easy beat on the press coverage. The Cardinal have given up several big-time plays on defense. They're going to need to tune that up, but this is a tune-up style game here, 14-10, as the Cardinal will take over at the 19. About 7 minutes left in the first half. They go Thompson right side. He'll pick up about 4. He seems to be the Cardinal down the middle kind of style back. Sulai has a little bit more athleticism. They get him to the outside here on the halfback screen. Lead blocker out there, and a big gain again for the Stanford Cardinal. A very heavy rotation is the key at that running back spot, it appears this year. Trips go right-hand side, Moses Lone to the left. Got some high safeties. As they were looking down the field, Draft takes a hit, and the ball flutters to Kevin Klug, the free safety of the Dukes. A gifted play there as George Ball was wide open. Gives them an opportunity here to try to take a lead. They hit on that deep ball the last time they were out here. Check down this time to Ogle. He gets 6. A couple early signs of concern here for the Stanford Cardinal. 2nd and 4. Dukes throw. They got Ogle on the tunnel screen for a first down to the 24. With 1st and 10. Still looking to pass the ball. Quick across the middle. Tim Easy makes that stop. So far, not too much resistance, especially up front. They are working a new interior in these spread packages. Dump off is quickly stopped by Salmon, his first tackle out there as an official starter. Forces a 3rd and 8. James Madison goes hurry up. 2 receivers stacked to the left-hand side. They look to go to the running back, and this time Thad Smith is on him. Will once again force a field goal attempt. They barely squeezed the last one in. And they will barely, even more, barely squeeze that one in. Still leaves them down 14-13. But for the Dukes, they've got to feel pretty happy about that. This should be a blowout, and that is not the case right now. Offense will take the field at the 25. Gordon Draft with a spread look bunch way out to the right-hand side. As they will look down the field, it's for Virgil Rowland into double coverage, easily broken up. Perhaps forcing that play a little bit too much. Like the look wasn't actually what they ran. 2nd and 10. Sulai, the back, will take it down the middle and picking up about 3. That'll at least make things more manageable for 3rd down. At the 28, a tight shotgun look here for Gordon Draft. Hard count. Defender jump. They don't flag it. But throwing to the outside, he finds George Ball this time. Turning down the sidelines, gets a juke in and picks up an extra 3 or 4. Big plays coming in by means of the passing game. It's also where some of their worst offensive plays have come with the 2 turnovers early on to start the season here for Draft. He throws across the middle. Blousay, he gets the catch, fighting for the first down, and the senior will get it. He needs just 5 yards to reach 100. He's trying to get back to that 1,000-yard pace he had his sophomore campaign. As they throw short, it's caught ball, only a gain of 2. Perhaps he thought his speed would open that up a little bit more. At the 30, they're back to that tight look. And under pressure, Draft will try to roll and throw. Finds ball this time with a little bit more space. That takes us inside the 2-minute break. A great job there from Draft to elongate that play. It's 1st and 10 at the 21 as they hand it off to number 21. Breaks it to the outside. A little stiff arm there will help ensure the first. A good job by the tackler to force him down inbounds. It keeps that clock rolling. 1st and 10 at the 10, though. say a couple inches could be gained prior to the goal line. So if you get down to that point, might as well get the ball into the end zone. Looks like making some changes here. Draft didn't like the initial look. Bunch to the right-hand side, one to the left. As he will look to scramble here. Trying to bounce to the outside, finds the corner and turns up. What a show of body control from Gordon Draft. The speed never left, and he finds his way into the end zone, making this 21-13. Under a minute left before halftime. But it will be up to this Cardinal defense to keep it as such. 51 seconds, they bring the blitz. Into the outside is their tight end. A short gain first time out called by the Dukes. They've also found a lot of success today in the passing game. Going to need that here. The 2nd and 4, 46 seconds. And to the outside, it's picked off again. Tim Easy. 2 for him on the day. He's also given up a couple big plays, but making up for it with a chance for the Cardinal to extend their lead before halftime. We saw him really pick up his play to end last season. Looks like he's picking up right where he left off. Cardinal at the 44, 42 seconds and 3 timeouts. As they'll go back to the passing game, but getting dropped is Draft. Looks like they'll try to go hurry up. Save some of those timeouts. They only lose 3 as Draft did step up. Making a couple changes out there to spread either side. Looking like they're trying to get a favorable matchup as he throws it right to the linebacker. A gift right back to the Dukes. If the linebacker wasn't there, sure, good read. But definitely some questionable decisions in this first game here for Gordon Draft. Hopefully he's able to bounce back. The offense especially fit more towards him. And it puts the defense in an unfortunate spot here. Timeout called. 18 seconds left. It's 2nd and 4. They'll look to continue passing this ball to the right-hand side and gets it in front of Smith, who still is a little bit struggling in pass coverage. Coach Bearington has talked about Darren Sr., the junior linebacker, stepping in a little bit in sub coverage. We'll see if that happens here today just to test it out as Cassius Sampson nearly picks up his first sack. Instead, kind of scares Shoemaker. He throws it away, and they're already going to bring out the field goal unit. Barely made the last 2. This time, he can't squeeze it in. Well, you just kind of figured that would be the case. Cardinal will take this one into halftime, where it's a closer game than you would expect, 21-13. But with multiple first half turnovers for Gordon Draft, is throwing some miscues, reading plays incorrectly, coverage incorrectly. This could very well be a wide margin of lead for the Stanford Cardinal if they just clean that up. They're getting the turnovers on defense. They have given up a couple big plays, but the guy that's done it, Tim Easy, has made up for it with 2 turnovers himself. We've also seen a massive resurgence for senior receiver in Deshaun Blouse. But as we get the second half underway, it is the Dukes on offense as they'll get right back to their passing game. That one off the mark for Shoemaker. Looked like that one was intended for Ogle, who's had a couple big grabs in this one. 2nd and 10. Still at the 15, they get motion right to left, taking that to either side. As they throw right across the middle, this time catching up to it is Matthews. He has their one and only touchdown on the day. They've had 2 field goals, missed one to end that first half. Cardinal bring the blitz, thrown to the outside is behind Matthews. Will whoever give props to Shoemaker is doing a great job against the rush. And it's picked off Marcook. New number 1 corner here for the Stanford Cardinal. He drives in on that ball. And this time Matthews is not walking away with a first down. And right when I went to give Shoemaker all of his props for handling that rush well, that ball just not quite there. A lot of turnovers from the quarterbacks here. As Thompson takes the handoff, he's got the first down. With a short field, Cardinal should find their way into the end zone as long as Draft keeps the ball on his own side. He looks to scramble here, and he gets sacked again. A 3rd on the day, I believe, for Brian Morris. Not a good look for right tackle Ahala, going up against a weaker opponent than who he should be facing. To the outside is Moses, who gets the catch and turn on the curl, and he will take it. Cardinal answer the sack with a touchdown strike to Moses. That will widen this lead to 28-13. Just about a minute and a half inside the 3rd quarter. Hopefully that is a little bit of a momentum swing for the Cardinal. The pick by Marcook, the touchdown to Moses, Now Tuttle comes in here to make the stop on play one. He was a player that there was some talk around if he would look to transfer, obviously sitting behind several linebackers here in the more spread packages for the Stanford defense. Back down the middle, a big hit comes in by Coley. Talk about several of these other linebackers. Haven't seen him hit the field, but he makes a big hit there. One of the interior linebackers here for the Cardinal, showing up on the 4-4 defense, as they will look to throw to the outside, and it's caught for the first. Smith just, again, a little bit too late on some of these reactions in the passing game. That seems to be the synopsis with him. The raw skills are there. He's just got to make some quicker ones as the ball pops free. Mark Huck not able to jump on it as a Stanford Cardinal. But a really big hit coming in from one of the smallest DBs the Stanford Cardinal have, most of them being about 6 feet plus. As they throw downfield, and Mark Huck, with help of Schlegel, jar it free. A good touch there from Shoemaker. That should have been a catch for the first. Cassius Sampson provides a big hit, but bad adjustment is Schlegel. Instead, headed back to the house is Matthews. Was 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds, a split second away from being a sack, and it actually ended up helping out the play that the ball came up short. Just a mix of unluckiness there for the Stanford Cardinal, but also Schlegel. He's got to make that play. Cardinal take over at the 25. Once again, needing to answer back just to maintain a good gap here. Currently, they do sit up by 8, 28-20, but they shouldn't have given up this many points. Draft some of his own play has been the cause of that, as he takes another sack, 5 total on the day. Jeff Boone down at DT makes that one, and it's 3rd and 10. They're still at the 25. 2 spread either side. They get the hard count. This time the ref decides to toss that yellow flag. Coach Barrington obviously talked in length about the flags and not being called with their postseason game. Gets it there. It's 3rd and 5 here for the Cardinal, though they still need to convert. As they throw to Moses, had a touchdown last drive, turns up for the big conversion here on 3rd. Brings the Cardinal up here to the 44, just shy of the midfield line, sticking with that spread look. Draft now rolling outside, has a receiver, he sees him, finds Moses yet again, gain of 9. Really spreading the ball around are the Cardinals this year. Couple receivers, including Blausay, finding more targets than others. As they go with a fake jet sweep, it's Larry Sulai with a big run down to the opposite 35. And in polar opposites of last year, it's the running game helping support the passing game. Meanwhile, it was the opposite last year. As they go back to Thompson, he shows off some speed, a little bit of strength there at the end to ensure the first down. As they mark him at the 23. Now to a shotgun look, Sulai back out there. As they get to the outside, a huge block from Enrique Heath, and Larry Sulai heads to the end zone for what might be his first touchdown as a Stanford Cardinal. He subbed in a couple games late last year, but that one should be the first of his career. And for the former 5-star, it's been a long time coming, perhaps maybe a little bit too long in his own mind. But he gets that Cardinal the 35-20 lead. And now motion here for the Dukes. They fake their own jet sweep, looking to pass off of it, but nowhere to go. Blair will bring him down, contain, leaving that just a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 after they go hurry up right back to the line. Some more play action with a throw downfield. They find Ogle. Cardinal have not managed the play action very well today. That's where they've got some of their biggest passing plays off of, as we're about at the 2-minute mark here of the 3rd quarter. Not much pass rush either for the Cardinal, as Shoemaker will step up. He slides down with the first down. But a big difference for this Cardinal defense from last year is said lack of pass rush. Obviously, Sony Fotu, he ended up graduating, 1st-round pick, and his replacement, Lord, finally gets back there for the Cardinal, the first on the season. The transfer from Washington, who actually had a really good game against the Stanford Cardinal a couple seasons ago, sets up a 2nd and 15. They go with a draw. Ty Hawley down from the safety spot, gets stuck in. And it does force a 3rd and 15. Expect a pass here for the Dukes. With trips to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Sampson with a little bit of rush. Ball is out, and Tim Easy's got a 3rd. And he's finding some room to run here. Cutting back, hopping over a down player. I believe that was Kiki Harulahu. But what a season opener here for Easy. Cardinal take over at the 39, finally with the chance to really try to extend their lead. As they go out to ball, it's nearly jumped. Perhaps just need to cool it a little bit then. We don't need heat checks out here, we just need to dominate as Sulai takes it left side. Hit comes in late to help pick up 3. That does leave the Cardinals still a little bit behind the chains here. It's 3rd and 7, what should be the final play of the third quarter. Hard count, no one jumps. They do snap it. And stepping up goes Gordon Draft, picking up one block and bursting by. It looked like he wanted to put a move on, but he wasn't sure who to put the move on. Either way, it's a big game for the Cardinal to pick up the first down. And we head to the fourth quarter, 35-20. While there's been plenty of big plays for both sides in this one, I don't think anyone expected it to be a 15-point game at this point. For the fourth quarter to go, perhaps the Cardinal will finally look to pull away. As he tries to let it rip, it comes up short of Gomez. They also had Moses on a deep route that way. Of course, the hit we saw earlier took some off, so perhaps could have been a similar situation. Larry Sulai here running hard, keeping those legs chugging. He will give the Cardinal a manageable third down here. They need just 4 more. Hard count, no one jumps. A very disciplined Dukes as Gordon scrambles and he drops the ball. Jumping on it to maintain possession is the starting left tackle. Almost another costly turnover there for Draft. Leaves it 1st and 10 at the 30. As they'll look to pass the ball here. Draft, he cuts underneath the rusher and picks up a gain of 9. We'll leave a 2nd and 1 as number 21 in the backfield at the 21. Pretty clear that we should go 221 here, who picks up about 2.1 yards. Well, that does give him nearly 70 on the day. Had the touchdown the last time out. Thompson checking in here with 1st and 10. Cardinal go with the power, and he runs through the safety. Keeping with that blend here, the agility, the strength, it's all there for the Stanford Cardinal. As they go RPO, it's out to Blouse, and he's got the block, and he's got the touchdown. Stanford finally starting to pull ahead here. It makes it 42-20. 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. And it looks like with that time, Coach Bearington going to get a little bit of some rotation out here. A few of the guys still out there who just haven't quite made some plays today as that ball is short. Shoemaker probably pretty happy with that as Senior did drop right into that passing window. 2nd and 10, Cassius Sampson still out here as he hasn't picked up his sack yet. He just keeps throwing the ball away before he gets there. Well, I'm sure he would love to pick up that sack. Also, just forcing incomplete passes, throwaways is just as important here for a pass rusher. Throw to the outside and a 1st down gain. They find their tight end. Marquez Poindexter makes the play. He's had 4 grabs in this one. For the 1st and 10, they're at the 42. Trips left-hand side, quick throw. They go back to Poindexter. He's got 6 more. We'll see if any of these younger guys out here with an opportunity can make some plays. 2nd and 4. They throw behind the blitz. It's caught for the 1st down. Tyrone Heggie out there making the tackle. He plays a little bit of corner as well as safety for the Cardinal. Augustine jumps early. They don't flag him for it. As they throw out to the flat, Poindexter with a short gain. Ends up marking a gain of 3 on it. Leaves it 2nd and 7. Back to the passing game, and Lord, he forces the fumble. However, no one's there to pick it up. Shoemaker will pick it up again. He still gets dropped for a loss of 4. Forces a 3rd and now 14. And under pressure, Kiki Harulahu checked in as an edge rusher. He picks up a sack. So he's getting a sack. Meanwhile, Cassius Sampson still not. Actually, Kiki came in as a interior rusher. Really moving guys all around as Heggie gets the pick. His 1st time out there, seeing some playing time. Cardinal have racked up the interceptions in this one. They have not racked up the sacks, but it's the pass rush that has forced some of these errant throws. Defense still making big plays on it. And for the freshman, it's his 1st turnover. Gives it over to the offense. Savoy out there at quarterback. Wesovich at running back, a redshirt freshman. Throws it right-hand side. There's Vallejo, who gets the catch. Another 1st down for the Cardinal. He's another guy that Coach Barrington wants to get out there a little bit more, but the receiving group is just stacked. There's a lot of different bodies that he believes can help this Cardinal team. Nearly throwing the pick. Ball intended for Bargava. Linebacker makes a big play. Forces 2nd and 10 at the 45. Bunch right side, early movement, no call comes in. Under pressure, and it's going to be a little bit short, and Vallejo couldn't bring it in. Not quite able to make the same play in the deep ball that the Dukes did earlier. It's 3rd and 10. And now they're going to get a hollow with a little bit of an early jump. No, they say it's actually a flinch from Morris, who's picked up several sacks today. He's getting taken off the field here. Now 3rd and 5. Bunch to the right-hand side. Savoy back in pistol as he throws to Kramer. They'll give him the first down. Not much more post-catch, but just enough for the first down. He played a little bit of that fullback role for the Cardinal last year, taking over tight end 2 this year. Savoy making a change. He likes rolling out there with a single high safety. He gets a good step, ball's out, and Roland will have a touchdown. His first game in uniform with a Stanford Cardinal. And even the backups are finding big plays here on the James Madison Dukes. With 2:12 remaining in this game, we'll see if the Dukes can find anything more on offense or even more plays here for our young defensive players. Throw left side is caught. He finds Matthews covered by a Nogbar, and he's had a really big game, 157 yards. Unfortunately, it's in a losing effort. Throw outside is caught by McClellan. Haven't called his name in a while. So Mapua does eventually force him out of bounds. They go back to McClellan. Tuttle with a bad angle, and now McClellan down the sideline. If Tuttle wants to see the field, that's a play he's got to make. 1st and 10, about midfield. Sampson stacked up. They throw outside. A gain of 5 as they find their receiver. Makes it 2nd and 5 here just by the midfield line. Trips to the right. Still looking to throw the ball. Cross the middle, and Tuttle with the big hit. He does have some decent cover ratings. Overall, a pretty balanced linebacker. They send him on the blitz here. Throws left side. Gets by Soma Pua as they find Poindexter. Again, a lot of these Dukes receivers / tight ends have had some big plays out there. Unfortunately, they just haven't picked up enough stops on defense. Back out to McClellan on the screen. He scampers out, gain of 9. They're just 15 yards away from the end zone. A good drive here orchestrated late on. Throw back out to Poindexter. He gets the catch. That puts him around 80 total on the night with a 1st and goal at the 7. Trips to the left-hand side, quickly throwing out of the sack. Rashad Lord checked in that play. Comes up just short of his 2nd. It's 2nd and goal. Sampson now clean off the edge, throws to the outside, and Madison has another touchdown. Dukes have made big plays in this one. They're showing that they should have a promising season. But against the level of our Cardinal, their defense just haven't quite been able to keep up. They do make it 49-27. 35 seconds left, and Savoy and the offense are hitting the field here, trying to make some big plays still happen if they could get the ball out cleanly. And I'm sure Coach Barrington just trying to see what some of these young guys can do, given a tough spot here. Essentially, this is a go down, make the big plays, get some points as an end game scenario. Ball is out for Roland. And he gets the grab over 25, and he's gonna have another. Thank you very much, Cardinal. End this game dropping the 50 bomb on James Madison. Unfortunately, they gave up 27 points along the way. But ultimately, you've got to feel pretty good with the offensive side. You clean up some of the turnovers. I think it was just shaking off the rust for Gordon Draft. And this is a very impressive showing. Every single different level of the Cardinal offense looked really good. Running, offensive line, they gave up a couple penalties, let up some rush early on for sure. Virgil Rowland, he finishes the game as player of the game. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, both being on some deep ball passes. Don't want to overshadow the play of Blouse. The senior returns, another guy over 100. Dukes had a really good offensive performance, but the Cardinal walk away with the win. And with so many big-time plays, we know we had to have a defensive player of the week. Surprise, though, it is Rashad Lord, not Tim Easy. Lord picked up 2 sacks, 3 tackles, 2 TFLs. Ultimately, he had the better rushing day, which I feel like is something we need to talk about. In this game, our Heisman winner, Cassius Sampson, was held to a blanked score sheet. Of course, this is not keeping track of anything like quarterback hurries or quarterback hits, which he did have. But this was the first game since he's been here, since he's played in a game, that he did not pick up at least half a sack. So hopefully that's not a sign of what's to come for the season of Cassius Sampson. We need that pass rush. And it wasn't like he was going up against a very highly rated offensive lineman either. Demarius Snow, a 77 overall redshirt sophomore. Does he at least have some good pass blocking ratings here? He was a 2-star recruit. And he has 87 pass block with 84 for finesse and power, so he's not bad by any means. But you would expect more from a Heisman winner. The good news is we have a long season ahead of us, and I expect Cassius Sampson to have a much better performance, hopefully starting next game against Michigan State. This will be our first time playing against Michigan State, and if I'm not wrong, our first time playing against an original Big Ten school. And before we go, we're going to do a quick recap of what's happening in the recruiting, as we are currently going after 21 players. And a lot of these guys, they're going to be five-star gems like Nate House, the quarterback. We only currently have 2 on active day roster. We have a freshman redshirt, but he's the number 5 quarterback in this class. We were considering going after and are still keeping an eye on the number 1 player in this class, which is Maka Falele. But he was a bust 5-star. We're still keeping him around. We're showing a little bit of interest, but not much. He would be more of a backup if for some reason we do not get House, which we are currently leading on. Colt October, he looks to be a very promising future edge rusher for us, another 5-star gem. We're on top for him. Jamie Emmanuel, another pretty good center we're trying to bring in. Eric Carr, we are not in the lead with. We are battling against Florida State, and that's what we're going to see with a lot of these interior guys for both the offense and defensive side. Max Voss, the run stopper DT we have pulled in front of. Same as Santiago Bullet, a great name for a power rusher down the middle, which we didn't get much power rush or any rush down the middle today. Mike Nicholson, we're on top, the free safety, number 1 in his position. Jonathan Dugan, he's a guy that I've seen kind of bounce back and forth between being a possession, which means tight end most likely, as well as I believe a power rusher. So he might be able to fit 2 different needs for us. We're on top for him. Gordon Lockett, not the son of Tyler Lockett, as we joked about in the offseason. We are on top for him. Ohio State also going after him. Zach Nestrowitz is a really impressive offensive lineman that we're pushing hard for. We're 60 of 65 points. And the reason that we really like him, despite him not being a gem, is you actually take a look at what he does, and it is very impressive. 90 impact blocking. Haven't seen that from anyone else. Plus, he's got some good abilities and mentals. Second level, I don't view him as a tackle as he is listed. I view him as a guard. Of course, we are battling with OU here. That is a tight race. We have pulled in front for Juan Vieira. We were behind, I believe, actually, Alabama, Miami, and Florida when we started this season. We've jumped in front for him. They are not pursuing as hard. Alex Putnam is an athlete, a power rusher. We're going after him. We've improved a lot in favor. We are behind for Ty Ekior. And I imagine we're going to start to cut down this list at some point. We have a lot of edge rushers on here. We are pretty light on roster. We had a few guys leave at that spot. Bruce Bloom, another edge rusher, and Kerry Sabri. We're on top for them. We talked about Falele. Now getting into the 4 stars where we're just looking at gems. We have Everett. Not sure the pronunciation on the last name. Do let me know. But we're on top for him. We're in a pretty good battle for Ron Michaels, a run stopper, basically just an off-ball linebacker. We need depth at that spot. They're getting on the older side. OU, Bama, and Ohio State are currently in front for him, but it is a good battle. We might need to move some points around to jump on him. Devron Davey, another off-ball linebacker. We barely pulled in front, overcoming the likes of Georgia and Florida. Jaquez Lockett, we are well on top for him. Tennessee, the only other team going after him. And Eric Poe, a tight race between us and Wisconsin. But of course, he is from Green Bay, so they have a slight edge. We are growing on these guys. Overall, this is a good start to a really good class. That is where we'll look to end things for today. Michigan State up next. Make sure you don't miss it by hitting that bell icon down below or hitting that subscription button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. Players put out a pretty good performance today, some things to tune up. We'll look to do that against Michigan State as we head on the road for the first time in Season 7.